it's all what they call, what's the word for it? The matchmaking is kind of iffy matchmaking.
Right.
You match a guy, he'll become undefeated. He'll be 35-0, 22 knockouts, and they'll say he's a superstar. But the guy that's, in my case, 33-5 with one draw and 25 knockouts is a journeyman in this day and age. But back in the 40s and the 50s, he was a world-class fighter.
Absolutely.
He was revered. He was loved. What has happened to our game?
And having said that, it's changed so much. I mean, I've, looking at the Olympics now and the way, it's almost a joke. It's almost a farce, the way that these fighters come out. It's almost as if it used to be where if you won a gold medal, you were guaranteed management in a contract when you came out. The way that it's scored now, and I've been watching some of these fights, is it seems a lot of the amateur ranks. What do you think is happening with boxing, the state of boxing? I mean, it somehow has in the past couple of years taken a back seat to UFC, Pride Fighting, and boxing has a long-standing tradition, whereas those sporting those type of sports do not have long-standing tradition. They're here and now, and I understand that there's glitz and glamour right now. Just like anything new, a new pair of jeans, a new pair of shoes, it's hot for the minute until you actually... It's exactly. And to me, boxing has a long tradition, it's something that a lot of kids do with their fathers. I grew up on boxing watching with my father, and...
Me and my dad, the first fight I remember watching with my dad was Foreman Ali. And for some reason, I think when I watch that, there's a lot of that Ali stuff about me. I talk trash in the ring. I say things to my opponent in his ear. But that fight marked me for life as a little boy. Marked me. Then I watched Ali Frazier, Thriller Manila. Then I watched Rumble in the Jungle. I mean, those kind of fights I watched. I watched Ray Leonard fight Duran. Those are the fights that I grew up on.
Those were huge events.
Those were events. And the problem now is everybody wants a site fee and an HBO deal. Nobody wants to promote those kind of great fights anymore. And
do you think that's why some of these fights have moved off of network television?
Right. That everybody wants $10 million for every fight. Can't get $10 million every fight. Very few guys can. But I watched Boom Boom Mancini and Dooku Kim fight on TV. Tragic fight, but great fight. Those two guys, they rumbled.
Right.
They fought on network TV in Youngstown, Ohio, in a full packed arena during a time when there was inflation and recession and just beautiful, beautiful things going on in boxing. Boxing was once upon a time. Boxers fought, and they were heroes for downtrodden people. Now they're millionaires. These guys are millionaires. They drive, they drive cars like Lamborghinis, the most top of the line Maybachs and all these big money cars, and they can't be touched by people. They're no longer regular people. They want to be superstar rock stars. I don't want to be that. I want to be a fighter.
I agree with you absolutely.
I just want to be a fighter. When I wake up in the morning, I'm a fighter. When I go to sleep at night, I'm a fighter. And something about me, when people fail to realize, I put fighter on my back. So every time I needed to be reminded of who I was, I could turn around and look in the mirror, look over my shoulder, and see what was behind me. I'm a fighter.
Absolutely. It used to be where 80s, even early 90s, where it would be the best in each weight class fighting the best. Now what you're having in boxing, and I think to the detriment of boxing, it's really tore down the sport in my eyes, is these event fights where fighters are managed, and instead of fighting they're not okay.
Follow me. I think somebody may have moved it, but it was sitting right up top here. And it's here. I know it's here. Where's the Sports Illustrated, fellas? The Sports Illustrated up there. It's in this one. This is Sports Illustrated.
Right, and that's what I am actually kind of
That
leading.
fight almost killed boxing. It made money, but people constantly questioning me about that fight. We've now become a race of boxing fans that are mentally locked up in what the commentators around the ring say about these guys. Here's the question. Are we boxing fans with our own opinions, or are we drones? And I say drones in the sense that in an ant colony, the queen runs the whole colony. Then you have soldier ants that protect the queen and make sure everything is done. Then you have drones that go out and say, do whatever the queen wants, and brings it all back to the hive, or the anthill, the mound, whatever you want to call it. And that's what boxing fans have turned into. A bunch of drones. You can say that someone is pound for pound the best in the world, and automatically these casual fans buy into that. They buy into that. And I'm a fan, but I'm not a casual fan. I'm a lifelong fan. For 34 years of my life, I have been a fan of boxing. Since Ali formed in 1974, I've been a fan of boxing. I have every right to say what I say as long as I speak the truth and I don't lie to you. But what they all fail to realize is I have more right than the other fans because I put my face, my heart, my body, my brain, everything about me on the line. I'm the fan that became world champion. Not any other fan right now that you can think of can say that, because most people don't even watch boxing.
So let me ask you this: the sport that you love, the sport that you grew up on, when you watch the state of boxing, and as an example, you look at Oscar De La Hoya trying to make a fight with Manny Pacquiao, how do you feel about something like that? A lot of our readers have, and not only, even casual fans are disgusted by this. I mean, it seems to me that event fights, big money event fights, are taking the place of fights that should happen.
You said the one word you said first. The 2 words you said, big money. De La Hoya is not doing this because he loves boxing. If he ever did, he'd have stood away a long time ago and just promoted the very best fights. Not just fights that look good because they pump so much money into the marketing of that fight. But the very best fights, by rights, he should fight Margarito.
Absolutely.